It looks like a movie based on the Marvel character Shang-Chi is in our future, which is maybe quite a weird pull for many of you. What's up, everybody? I'm Josh Meek, the Uber Geek. Welcome to Pretty Dece, your daily entertainment and pop culture show. And yes, Deadline is reporting that Marvel is fast-tracking a Shang-Chi movie. It'll be the first superhero franchise with an Asian protagonist. And that's not just a coincidence, but seemingly is a strong selling point of pursuing this movie based on this character. They've already hired Chinese-American writer Dave Callahan to work on the screenplay, and he certainly seems like a hot talent right now. He's written for The Expendables, the Godzilla reboot. He wrote some of the initial work for the upcoming Zombieland 2. He has a couple Netflix projects in the work, and he's also worked on superhero films, at least upcoming superhero films. He wrote for the upcoming Wonder Woman 1984, and he was also hired to work on Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 2, the sequel to the one that is about to come out. So, seems like he's kind of everywhere right now for upcoming projects, and he'll be working on this Shang-Chi film. Marvel's also apparently looking to hire an Asian American director to pair here for the actual directorial work. So they're really looking to put together an authentic Asian American team for this film starring an Asian superhero. So obviously Marvel's looking to feature heroes with diverse backgrounds, which is probably a direct result of the success they found with Black Panther. That's actually their highest grossing movie so far. It's made more money than Avengers Infinity War. So it probably, it's cool that they're doing it. It probably is also a pretty safe monetary bet that Marvel can key into this crowd and really find some success. But I'm still happy that they're doing it. It's still going to be overall a really positive thing that this movie is going to exist. There's obviously still some bigger names in the general Marvel universe that they could be tapping, so I'm happy that they are kind of going out of the comfort zone a little bit to reach to a character that they can use to do this cool, first time Asian superhero movie situation. Kind of neat. Shang-Chi himself, though, from the comics is kind of an interesting pull. If you've never heard of him, you probably shouldn't really have heard of him. He's kind of a nobody for the most part. He's generally been relegated off to the side in Marvel Comics at best, and he's historically been kind of stereotypical, so really embodying a lot of Asian stereotypes. He's literally called the Master of Kung Fu, so they're gonna have to do a lot of warping and transforming to make this not just a weird, crazy 70s offensive throwback when it shows up on the big screen. Shang-Chi debuted in 1973, and as I said, he's been little more than kind of a bit player in the world of Marvel ever since. He did have a pretty long-running solo series when he first debuted. He originally started in a comic called Special Marvel Edition, which reprinted old Marvel stories. That's at least what it did for the first 14 issues. On the 15th issue, that's where Shang-Chi debuted in a new story, and by issue 17, the comic had been retitled to The Hands of Shang-Chi, Master of Kung Fu, and it ran for over 100 issues after that. So Shang-Chi was kind of in the perfect time. There was a real Kung Fu resurgence. It was very hip and very popular around the time when he debuted. He kind of rode that wave to success. He's had, a few other series here and there. He's appeared in some other books. But for the most part, he hasn't really been super important as far as Marvel heroes go. And it's a little problematic now today because Shang-Chi's origin is a bit murky in terms of the legality of everything, believe it or not. Originally, Shang-Chi was supposed to be the son of Fu Manchu. Seriously, you can't make this up. Fu Manchu is not a Marvel property. Marvel at the time had licensed Fu Manchu for he was a character, a villain from a pulp novel series. And they had licensed the character and had written Shang-Chi to be the son of Fu Manchu. So they'd kind of molded Shang-Chi into this existing canon that they were just licensing. Now, however, Marvel no longer owns the license to Fu Manchu, so we have this character Shang-Chi whose origin they literally aren't allowed to retell, at least not in the form that it originally came out in. Several years ago, Ed Brubaker kind of wrote around the issue of Fu Manchu when he was using Shang-Chi in the book Secret Avengers, and it basically, he rewrote the history and said Fu Manchu was just an alias. Shang-Chi's father was actually Shang Tzu, who was an ancient Chinese sorcerer. So kind of made it so he could use the character and explain who the character was without explicitly using this property of Fu Manchu that they no longer have. So needless to say, there's much of the origin and backstory of this character that they will likely have to change for the film, but I'm definitely interested in what they can do on that front. A character like this, backed by such an interesting world that they can slowly roll out to us, definitely has that Black Panther-esque vibe, and it definitely is kind of the Black Panther recipe for success. Kind of peel back the curtain, show us what's cool about the world that we don't know, and let us slowly experience it. I think that's really neat, and that they could really do the same thing here with Shang-Chi and with Kung Fu and with kind of the mystical stuff that is going on in that character's backstory. Marvel has clearly proven that they don't need household names to make blockbuster films. No one knew who the Guardians of the Galaxy were really before their film came out. I was a huge fan of them. Most people had never even heard their names, but now they're ridiculously popular, and some of the most popular cinematic Marvel characters that they have. So Marvel kind of can just print money here and kind of can make you like anyone. So I'm really excited to see what they do with another relatively unknown character like Shang-Chi. And plus, it'll be neat to see them work with mostly a blank slate here. So that's going to do it for Pretty Dece for today. Thank you very much for joining me to talk about an upcoming Marvel movie, kind of the first hint of a movie that we are going to be watching down the road in a couple years. So pretty exciting stuff. If you want to support Pretty Dece, you can do so. Visit prettydeceshow.com/listener support to find out those details. Of course, you can listen to Pretty Dece in podcast form wherever you download your podcasts, or you can watch the video version on YouTube. Just visit youtube.com/prettydece to find the channel. And of course, hit me up on social media. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram @PrettyDeceShow.